Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to invite you to our YouTube channel, which is PIMR COG Part 3 and Made Easy. So the idea behind is we would like to make this MRCOG 3 will make it easy, and you will see that you will achieve it. So people think that MRCOG Part 3 is difficult to get through, but with correct preparation, right direction, you can get through. And so here Dr. Padma and me, we are running this program. That is our intention. Our main intention is to post few of the stations from each module. We'll be posting in this channel, and you can listen to the case scenario, and you can present also to our Dr. Padma, who will give the right feedback, and she will stress you how to present it. So then this is about our idea. And second thing here, the second aspect of this our course is, that's our Made Easy, is I will explain to you how to present the case scenario. Instead of you presenting to me and giving the feedback, I would like to present to you. I would like to tell you about each station and how we are going to we need to present, what to present, and what points to stress, and what points not to ask unnecessary. And then you will take a note of it, and you will be presenting the similar thing to to Dr. Padma. So then the other thing is, so here we will be taking we will cover all the modules right from early pregnancy. We will be covering the modules, and we will take SPT, including simulated patient tasks and structured discussion. And so now from the early pregnancy, let us start with the first module, that is the early pregnancy module. So we picked up important cases which are of importance examination point of view, and we will be posting the cases twice in a week, that is on Monday and Thursday, one case each. So and we'll cover all the modules, so you will have an idea how to present, and depending upon that, you can communicate with us in the Telegram group. We have a Telegram, and where the link will be given, and you can communicate with us in the Telegram. So, with this small brief introduction, I would like to start the first case scenario today. So, here the case scenario will be displayed on the screen. You can see the case scenario, and so then you will have an idea about the case scenario. So, it is a simulated patient task. So, in bit, I will be at the same time, as I tell you the case, I will present the case, and at the same time, I'll explain to you few points. And so, in the examination, you're supposed to present in 10 minutes. But because I am explaining to you how to present, and little deviations, so, and stressing important points, patient safety points and all, so my presentation may take 15 minutes to 20 minutes. So, but in the examination, you need to present in 10 minutes. So now, moving on to we'll start with the station. This is a case scenario which is displayed, but she is, I'll give a brief introduction about the case. You are an ST5 on call in gynecological emergency. You have been called to see Miss June Snowforth, 25-year-old, who is admitted in gynec ward, and she is diagnosed with ectopic pregnancy. She wants to discuss her management options. She has been done a scan on that day, and a scan report is enclosed. Her vital signs or observations are given, and that is a BP 120 by 80 millimeter mercury, pulse rate is 80 per minute, and she has complaints of some slight bleeding and mild abdominal pain. And the examination done in the emergency, it shows that abdomen is soft and no tenderness. Her scan report shows her name as Miss June Snowforth, 25-year-old. NHS number is given, and so the transvaginal scan is done after verbal consent. The indication being her pregnancy, 7 weeks amenorrhea with spotting. And of the scan findings are uterus, and there is no intrauterine gestation sac, endometrium is around 6 millimeter mercury, both ovaries are seen separately, and they are normal, and there is a adnexal mass on the right side. It is around 13 to 20 millimeter with a fetal pole, and the cardiac activity is seen, and minimal fluid in the pouch of Douglas. So the impression is right-sided live ectopic pregnancy. So this is the scan report which is given. And now, your task in the examination, they'll ask you, what are you supposed to do in this? You take targeted history and answer her concerns. The third thing is discuss the scan report with her and the diagnosis, and also explain her the management options. And so this is the case scenario. Now we're moving how to start the station. So you start off with the introduction. Hello, I'm Dr. Manjula, one of the doctors on gynec emergency call. Am I talking to Miss June Snowford, 25-year-old? See, here I would like to tell you, because she's admitted, you say, am I talking to? If she is not admitted, if she comes to the outpatient basis, then you say, may I confirm your name and age, please? So that way. So now, second thing is agenda. I can see that you are admitted here because you're pregnant and having some bleeding and mild abdominal pain. Yeah, is that so? So she says, yes, doctor. I'm really sorry to see you in such a in such a situation, and we are here to help and support you. And I have also your scan report with me. I will be discussing about it in a couple of minutes. So, and as I am seeing you for the first time, June, will it be fine if I gather a few details from you so that we can make a management plan? Yes, doctor. It's okay. Then, I also see that you're alone here today. Would you like to call someone to be with you? Because she's admitted, and she that's why whether she needs any support. So, okay, doctor. No, I don't want to, because there's no one to come. So now, okay, June, can you tell me more about you? Put an open question always. Then, doctor, I have mild abdominal pain, and she will tell about the bleeding. So, and then what you have to take is, when did it start? The bleeding was spotty. When did it start? Is it what is the amount? That is it slight or moderate or clots? You ask her, but depending upon the case scenario, it may not be slight bleeding in every case. So depending upon that, you ask about the bleeding, when it started, the quantity, heavy or clots or spotting, any tissue passed, and any fainting or dizziness. These are the things you should ask. And do you have? Then she will say, do you have? Suppose she says pain, or you can ask otherwise. Do you have pain also? Yes, doctor. Where is the pain? When did it start? Where is the pain? She will say one-sided. Usually it is one-sided, either lower abdomen, left or right side, she will say. So she will say abdominal cramp, and she may say crampy pain. And do you have shoulder tip pain? You ask, or she will say shoulder tip pain. Any issues with the bowel or bladder? Or you can say bowel and waterworks. Any issues? Then this is about the history of present illness. Now, coming to the present pregnancy details. This present pregnancy you need to find out. So here, I see, now, can you tell me is about this pregnancy? Is it a planned pregnancy? If she says yes, doctor, then you say, is it, did you conceive without any treatment? By yourself, naturally? Or have you taken any treatment? That means your treatment means you are asking some ovulation induction or IVF. So, because where IVF, the chance of ectopic pregnancy or more. Now, suppose she says the other way. She says unplanned pregnancy. No, doctor, it's unplanned pregnancy. Then you say, if it's unplanned pregnancy, you say, what contraceptives have you used? Have you used any contraceptive? If yes, she say, what type of contraceptive? Because you're simultaneously asking, it is an ectopic pregnancy. You want to know the risk factors. So, in your back of your mind, you know the risk factors. That's why you're asking. So, she will say contraception. If she says, yes, doctor, then you say, what type of contraception? Because mini pills, that is progesterone-only pills, and the intrauterine contraceptive device can increase the chance of ectopic pregnancy. So, this is about the unplanned pregnancy. Now, that is over. Second thing, is it your first pregnancy? Then she will say no, doctor, or yes, doctor. If no, doctor, then it is a first pregnancy. If that means whatever you have asked about this present pregnancy details, it's enough. If it is a no, doctor, this case she says, I had 2 pregnancies before, doctor. Can you tell me more about them? Yes, doctor. Both the pregnancies were not in the uterus. They were outside the uterus and they were in the tube. So you says, bring down the volume of your voice low. I'm very sorry. Show empathy. I'm very sorry to hear about that, and I know it's a hard time for you. Can you tell me more about them? So, doctor, the first time when I conceived, pregnancy was in the right side, right tube. So they told it is very early stages, and so they told me to wait and watch. So it got resolved. and it got resolved by itself. Then second pregnancy, again it was a pregnancy in the tube, doctor, and it was they gave you some medication. It was also early pregnancy, so they gave me medication, one injection they gave me, and because the pregnancy this time the pregnancy was in the left tube, and so they gave me injection, but the pain increased. When the pain increased, so then they took me for surgery. They did a keyhole surgery, and then they removed this left tube. So then, how was your recovery after that? There was no problem, doctor, after that. Okay. So now, can you tell me about your previous cycles? Were they regular? Your cycles? Yes, I see that you are 7 weeks pregnant. Then can you tell me? Can I ask you a few personal questions? Yes, doctor, you can ask. Always signpost for the sexual history. Now you take the sexual history after the present pregnancy and previous pregnancies, gynec history, then sexual history. In this, because sexual history is important. Now, can you always signpost? So, is it your first? Is a regular partner? One thing is that one. Second thing, do you use any sexual safe sexual practices? Then third thing is you need to ask, do anytime you or your partner had any sexual shared infection? Like anytime did you develop any fever or pain in the tummy or any false bearing discharge? She will say yes or no. If she says yes, you say, were you treated for that? You or your partner, whoever has that infection. So these are the 3 things you should ask in the sexual history. Then moving on to the medical history, you need to ask whether to rule out any comorbidities, medical comorbidities. So are you on any regular medication? And long-term medication, like for diabetes or hypertension? Do you have any allergies? Allergies is very important. You can never miss this point. Are you having any allergies to food or to medicine especially? And then the other important third thing which is important, what is your blood? Do you have an idea about your blood group? If she says yes, doctor, then she says O positive or A positive. You need to ask. If need arises, will you be willing to accept blood? Like that means you are ruling out Jehovah's Witness. And if she says no, doctor, I am a Jehovah's Witness, then you say, okay, I respect you. But then in that case, do you have any advance directive? Yes, doctor, I have, or no, doctor, whatever she says. So because here ectopic pregnancy, she can always go into bleeding, internal bleeding. Anytime it can rupture and it can lead into emergency surgery. That's why blood transfusion is important. Now, come take the past medical surgical history. Have you undergone any surgeries in the past on the tummy? Then because she has this ectopic pregnancy surgery, so then other than that, do you have any other surgeries? Because the more the surgeries, the more the complications of further during surgery. Then she says, no, doctor. Yes. Then any family history of any concern? That's enough. Yeah. Any family history of any concern? Then how is the support at home? You need to know support because she will be post-operative mostly. So how is the support at home? Can you tell me whether you smoke or take alcohol? Smoking is important history in ectopic pregnancy. So no need to signpost here. It is routine thing, smoking, alcohol. Do you smoke? If she says smoking, yes, then you have to say, we will refer you, if you permit, we will refer you to the smoking cessation, NHS smoking cessation center, and they will advise you how to quit the smoking, which is good for your health. Then, do you have any idea about your height weight ratio? Sometimes they will know what is BMI also. You can ask BMI. BMI is also important. Now, what do you do for living? Because we need to know whether she needs any sick leave. Then support being asked. So now, would you like to add anything? Always, this is the information gathering. Always end the information gathering with this. Would you like to add anything? Because she can miss and you can miss also. Then, so now, tell her. Now, so June, let me tell you about your condition. Here I have your examination findings, which already you were examined. So your observations are stable, so you are doing fine at this stage. That is, your blood pressure pulses, they are normal. And abdominal findings also have seen. Now, however, we need to arrange few blood tests to see, that is to check your blood state and your blood group and RH if she has not done, and pregnancy hormone. Will that be fine for you? Yes, doctor. Then, so you explain the need for blood investigation. So first thing is the investigation. Second thing, now in terms of scan report, you want to tell her about the scan report now. In terms of the scan report, then do you have any idea about it? Always ask her scan report whether she has an idea or not. If she doesn't have an idea, she needs a require breaking bad news. Breaking, that means somebody need to be with her. We can ask because it is a shocking news. If she knows already, she says, "No, doctor, I know." Then Vivian is not that required. Yes, doctor, I know it. The doctor told me. Yes. So here, let me explain to you. I have confirmed the name, age, and NHS number on your scan report. And see, let me draw and show the scan report. You always have to draw. Always draw the diagram and show her and explain to her about the pregnancy. And that is what examiner also asked you to do. Explain the scan report. So here, let me tell you, this is the womb and the pregnant. We can see that there is no pregnancy inside the womb. So then here there are both the ovaries are normal on both the sides, and we can see that the pregnancy is in the tube again. See, from the scan report shows that the pregnancy is around 30 millimeter. So it is again in the tube. So this is around, and there is minimal fluid outside this. So now it is in the right tube, and also the heartbeat is seen. I'm very sorry, June, to say this. So just pause for some time. So now that means it is an ectopic again. And that too with baby has it is an advanced, that is baby has developed heartbeat. And because the baby developed heartbeat, that means the pregnancy is growing and actively growing. And let me tell you, the tube is not like womb. It is a thin structure, thin wall structure. So as a pregnancy grows, the tube try to enlarge, but it cannot enlarge. So it will burst. It will burst, and then it will causing severe pain in the tummy and severe bleeding in the tummy, and that becomes an emergency situation. So in that case, your life will be put at risk. And already because now that you know this condition before, shall I explain you the further management? Shall I take you forward from here? And yes, doctor, you tell me what you're going to do now, because already I don't have one tube. And what are you going to do with this tube? Yes, let me tell you. I'll explain to you. And after that, you can decide. And whatever your decision you take, we will respect. But I'll explain to you all the options with risks and benefits of each option. And see, we have 3 options to treat an ectopic pregnancy. First one is, we can wait and watch, like it happened in your first pregnancy. We can wait, because if it is in a very early pregnancy, it's suitable in very early pregnancy, and because sometimes the pregnancy can resolve by its own. But the second option is giving an injection called methotrexate, where it kills the pregnancy cells which are in the tubes. So that also can be offered, but if it is an early pregnancy, not advanced, where the heartbeat is safe. So I'm sorry to say, June, in your case, these 2 options are not suitable, because your pregnancy is already advanced with heartbeat is seen. So whenever heartbeat is seen, that means pregnancy is actively growing. Anytime the tube can rupture and becomes an emergency. So we cannot wait. So we have to act fast. The fastest way to treat you is surgery. So that is the third option. That is the operation which is done on the tummy and to remove the pregnancy tissue. So am I clear? Am I clear about this? And it is done under sleep medication. We will give you sleep medication, and that's called general anesthesia, and it is done. Now, shall I tell you, explain to you about the methods of surgical treatment? Operation, 2 types of operation, what we can offer for you? Yes, doctor. So here, it can be a keyhole surgery. We can do a keyhole surgery for you. That is, and it is preferred when the observations are stable, like in your case, it is a keyhole surgery. And then we will give some 3 to 4 tiny cuts on the tummy. A small telescope is passed, and treatment is undertaken. The pregnancy tissue is removed, and that is sent for testing. Then the advantage benefits being, the fast recovery will be fast, and can go home early. And but sometimes what happens, because you had a surgery before, this keyhole surgery may be difficult. So then in that case, we need to go for an open cut, where it's a bigger cut will be given, we will convert it into, that's called laparotomy. A bigger cut is given when previous surgery, because of the previous surgery, if there is any difficulty. So in that case, we will do the open cut and then remove the tube. So then that is suitable, that is more, especially it is done when there is internal bleeding. So now, shall I explain to you more about it? But let me tell you, June, this can have its own complications, that is risks of the surgery and also of the sweet medication, that is anesthesia. There can be injury to the surrounding organs, there can be bleeding and anesthesia complications also. Now, doctor, then I don't want to remove this tube. I'm not, because I don't have one tube. We respect you, June. Definitely, I'm going to explain to you the two methods which the surgeon. But surgeon, let me tell you, the surgeon is the person who can decide after opening, after looking inside. He will decide, seeing the condition of the tube, whether we can preserve the tube or we need to go for removal of the tube. That will be decided at that time during surgery. Now, first method will be, we'll try to save the tube. And because you don't have the other tube, we will try to save this tube, and we make a small cut on the tube, and at the place where the pregnancy is there, remove the pregnancy tissue. And then this condition method is called salpingotomy. So you will preserve the tube, and especially it is done when the other tube is not there, and also if the other tube is not healthy. What the benefits can be with this? They can be the possibility of becoming pregnant by yourself, and the pregnancy can be inside the womb. But let me tell you, the risk, there can be some risk also, because there can be some, in future, the pregnancy can be there in this place where the pregnancy tissue is removed. So there can be recurrence, that's called recurrence. So this can happen. And also the third thing is, you need to come for follow-up regular, but till to do the pregnancy test every week till it becomes negative. So this way we have to do that. And then other thing is, next pregnancy, when you conceive next time, when you want to conceive, then you need to do an early scan to see where the pregnancy is. So this is what I would like to say about the one method, that's called salpingotomy, where the tube is preserved. Can I tell you about the other method? Yes, doctor. I want to know about other method also. Yes, the other method is the removal of the tube. We may have to remove the tube in extreme situation, that is called salpingectomy. So this is done if there is more bleeding, and the surgeon will be unable to save the tube. And in other situation where if the other tube is normal, suppose a woman has another tube, if it is normal, healthy, also the tube will be removed. So the benefits will, what is the benefit of this? That is salpingectomy, removal of the tube. There will not be any more ectopics. But on the other hand, the risk can be there, because there is no other tube also is removed in the previous pregnancy, and now we are going to remove this pregnancy. If we remove this tube, then the option to have a baby will be through test tube baby. That is called IVF, or in vitro fertilization. Doctor, but what is the chance of having successful pregnancy? Yes, the success is 1 in 4. Let me tell you, 1 in 4 will conceive. So then, when in future, when we will discuss more about it, we will be referring you to the fertility specialist. Am I clear? Yes, doctor. So now, whatever you can think about, discuss with your partner if you want, and then you can choose what methods I have explained to you. You can choose among them, and it is we respect whatever you decide. So now, yes, doctor, I would like to wait for my partner to come. I want to discuss with him. Yes, we can wait, because now that you are stable and your observations are stable, we can wait. But try to discuss with him as early as possible. Because while waiting, if you feel, if it is delayed, the tube can rupture. So you can take that decision as early as possible. Now, let me take you forward from here. Your care will be on a team of doctors. I will inform my consultant about you, and I will also inform the anesthesia doctor, and also the theatre staff and the senior nurse. So then, this is the information leaflet. You can go through about this condition which I discussed with you. And once you decide, this is an informed consent form, our nurse will help you to fill it up. Once you give the consent form, she will prepare you. She will prepare you for the surgery, and then we will shift you to the operation theater. But while waiting for your partner, if you feel any time shoulder any pain in the shoulder tip or any giddiness, we need to shift you to the operation theater and do the surgery fast. So, am I clear so far? Yes, doctor. So, okay. Now, if you have, I'll speak to my consultant. I'll take things forward from you. I'll make arrangements for you. And if you have any issues, you can always inform my nurse. I will be back soon. Do you have any other concern at this stage? Always end the station with this question again. Do you have any other concern? No, doctor. So, okay. Now, thank you for speaking to me. And this is the end of the station.